Hi friends, Bonita from Knitting in the Mitten. I feel like most of my videos these days are me showing you the cool things I learned to do at the local library. But that's okay because libraries are awesome. And our local library, even though we are just a little tiny town, a little tiny library, they do really cool things. So a couple weeks ago, my mom and my niece Ember and I went and learned how to do bookbinding. So we made some homemade books, which was very cool. And today they had a junk journal class, which if you don't know what a junk journal is, I'm not the one to explain it, but basically you can use any kind of paper product for the pages. And the person that was teaching the class had all the supplies for us, and she tried to have things that we all have in our home so that if we want to make more, we can do that. So, for example, you can use envelopes. You can use wallpaper. I think this might be wallpaper. You can use just, packing paper. You can use even little envelopes, and then we cut the flap so that there's a flap on either side. All kinds of just bits of paper. This one is all grungy and stained and has printing on it. And a coffee filter. There's a coffee filter in there, which makes a nice pocket. So very cool. And we learned how to bind it, how to sew it. Which is similar to what we learned a couple weeks ago in the bookbinding class. So we actually take waxed thread to sew it up. And then this one, we put a little cover on the binding. And then she had all kinds of things you could use. She had these little reinforcers, hole reinforcers that she had stained or whatever, dyed them or made them look kind of old. And so I used a bunch of those on the cover. And then she made these little, I can't remember what she called them, but she just takes like paper and fabric and stuff and sews it together on her sewing machine. And this one has a little piece of paper that says, "That's not good for you. We'll get back to normal soon." And I just thought that was so cute. And then I made a little tie so that I can tie it shut. So you could write in these, you could put little treasures in them. It's endless. And the things that you could use to embellish it are also endless. She also had these little ruffles she had made, and I stuck one on the back. So unfortunately, this might mean that I'm collecting a lot of junk now so that I can make more of these. But my idea for my junk journal, because I'm not really one to write in a journal, I have an online journal that I use. My idea is to make a junk journal of the animals that I'm knitting this year. So I've started knitting some animals. So I made some cards that have the kind of yarn and the color. And then I put a little bit of the yarn on there, and I thought maybe I'll stick these in there somehow, along with the information about the pattern and what needles I used and yada yada. So that is my thought. These are the actual yarn wrappers from one of the other yarns that I used for a project I'm working on hedgehogs, which are a challenge. So anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do with my junk journal, but if you see a junk journal class, go check it out. It was so fun. And those who know me well know I like tiny things. And she had one that was like that big. She had a little tiny junk journal, which I did not even put my hands on because I was afraid I would love it too much. So anyway, that's what's going on here. And hope you all have a good weekend. One thing I forgot to tell you. This cover that's kind of purpley paper is a paper towel that she dried blackberries on. And she also had some parchment that she had dried blackberries on. Amazing! See, I'm going to be collecting so much junk.